Hey guys, this is Charles Blair, the Mad Scientist, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of my 2020 Top Real Estate Investor Tools. Now, each of these episodes, I feature what I consider some of the game-changing tools for real estate investors, real estate professionals, and entrepreneurs for 2020. And this one has been on my list ever since I heard about it, probably about 4 or 5 months ago. Now, if you don't know it by now, when you get to the end of this actual video, you'll be begging me to get the information of how you can get it. So with that being said, the founder and owner of Go Big Printing, Mr. Andy Detweiler. Andy, what's going on, buddy?
That's a good intro, man. That's awesome. I wish everybody did that for me. You're on fire. Thanks for having me. This is great. I'm happy to share. I'm super happy that you're here and you brought me here to show you what we got going on. So thanks for the intro. I'm at your service. You pile away and I'll show you what we got here.
No problem, man. The excitement is real because, like I said, I've been a fan of your platform ever since I found out about it about 5-6 months ago when you first was mentioning rumbles about it with the Go Big Printing. And then when it came out to the masses for everybody to consume with the soft launch you guys had, I've been sold. My mastermind students been sold. And a lot of my consulting clients are now customers of Go Big Printing, Print Genie. Now tell me, Andy, how did this come about, Print Genie, and the way this platform is designed?
Well, thanks for asking. So I'm not new to this, right? So I've been around 20 years. We've been in the direct marketing space for 21 years. And that whole time we've been doing what you might see within Go Big Printing, where you upload a list or you buy a list, you pick from hundreds of postcards or letters, you customize it on demand. It's pre-written material, but you can edit it and then you can order it. And then what we found is, like, over these 20 years, it's like they wanted to send something else afterwards, but it was like a little inconvenient. And also you had to pre-think about it. You'd go in and you make something and then you'd order it and walk away. And then we found was people were not coming back, or they would just wait another month and then they would do something else. And then they wouldn't get the response that they wanted. I mean, maybe in a 1.5% response. So it's like, what we realized what people needed to do was hit someone easily and conveniently month after month for at least 4 or 5 or 6 touches to get the best response. And then we also realized a lot of people come in with really hot lists and they didn't just want to blanket an area with 10,000. And so I've wanted for 20 years the ability to allow a person to make their own postcard or letter, to make their own campaign, or pick from ones we've already created and have no minimums. And so what we've created is, well, really, I've taken the 500 million pieces of mail that I've done, and the people asking me the same questions over and over again. What should I say? How often should I send it? And then they get lost and confused and they order this one thing and they think they have a brand new business out of it. And it just doesn't work that way. There's not like a one-hit wonder. So it evolved. What's that?
And we all know that in order for that conversion to happen, you have to give that person multiple touches.
You have to. Exactly. And so we kind of made up a funny thing a couple of years ago. We called it the elixir, because, I mean, here's what you imagine me, right? So I'm the guy in the world of direct response marketing. We do a lot of mail. We work with a lot of different people, and they're like, what should I send? And how often should I send it? And I've heard texting works. I heard email works. I heard direct mail works. I've heard direct mail sucks. I've heard it all, right? And they're like, what's your best piece? And so here's the deal. I believe that we're all different people and we all have different receptors. And so I might be more responsive to here's like just a graphic postcard someone made, right? On the back, it's handwritten, and so I might be more responsive to that. And then somebody else might be more responsive to getting a letter. Right. And so that's why we're all so different. And we all know that. So what you try to do is mix it up and send it out over time so that it's going to land in their lap at the time they want to receive it. And then their internal mechanisms are going to be responsive to that thing you sent. But imagine the odds of you sending one thing to, I don't know, thousands of people. And then you think that everybody's going to have the same response to it. They don't. So you're missing a percentage of the market by just hitting them once with one thing. That's why you mix it up and you send it out conveniently. So that's I mean, that's what I've wanted to do for 20 years. So here we are.
And in marketing, we call that message to market match, making
Perfect.
sure that that
Yeah.
message hits that market right at the right opportunity, when not when they want, but when they need your service.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So we've worked with real estate agents for decades, right? We started out, our whole business started out catering to title companies. They gave it away to real estate agents. This is in the early 2000s, and then we realized is that along the way, people were lost and confused, and they would try to do something, and then we realized that and this is, remember, we've done this a long time. You realize you have to be in someone's face when they want to receive the information. So what are the odds if you send one thing to a bunch of people and it lands on everybody's lap, and then what percentage of those people really wanted to receive that thing at that time? Maybe
Right.
their dog died or something bad happened that day, and they're like, I don't want to look at this mail, and so, but then just conveniently through Print Genie, maybe a month later they get something else, and now because of time and circumstances, and they've that month that was bad a month ago, now they got something in their hands and they're going, oh yeah, this resonates with me, this is what I wanted to see, and without any effort, just it happened to landed on them.
And I think the key that really makes your platform so powerful is that it's not a one trick pony. It allows you to communicate with that seller, that investor who wants to communicate multiple ways through multiple modalities. Because
Right,
we
that's
all
it.
know that it's not about just giving them a letter. You hit them audio. We hit them in regards to text. You hit them in regards to visual. So you're hitting them through multiple modalities that can
Right.
really stimulate that process of wanting to do business with you.
That's exactly it. I mean, that's exactly it. And I think the best thing you could use is your instinct. If you just think about using your instinct on what your response mechanisms are, right? And so imagine like Coca-Cola. Like, why do they still advertise? We all know what it is, but you have to. You have to be in front of someone's face at the time they want to receive that information you're giving them. So obviously you have text, you have email, you have ringless voicemail, you have direct mail, you have TV, you have ads, right? You have
Mhm.
signs. And so like all these receptors going on in your head, and then add to that, we're all uniquely different along the way. So what you're trying to do is increase the opportunity of success by hitting them many times, easily and conveniently, right? So yeah. So yeah, so if you use your instinct and you think about what would you be responsive to when you get something in the mail? I mean, I do it every day. I get hundreds of seeds every day from people that do mailings, and I look at it as it comes in with my other mail, and I think, would I be responsive to that? And sometimes you put yourself into the mode of, I'm in a distressed situation. Would I be receptive to that? Am I going to believe this person? Is that is the message resonating with me? Is it authentic? Is it compassionate or empathetic? So when I read stuff, it's like sometimes, it's like I like, all postcards. It's like a billboard. You drove by 50 miles an hour, and it's like, so that's what you're like as a gatekeeper looking at your mail. And so it's like, do these resonate with me at some level? So I try to use my instinct. And so we build a lot of stuff, like there's hundreds of things to choose from, and we
Right.
already put them into campaigns. But then we give you the ability, if you want to tweak it and change it and make it your own, to write your own words, because your voice is going to be different than mine. And so like we try to give you that tool, and also with the ability to just seamlessly send it without thinking about it. Like if you got a list of 10 leads, what the hell are you going to do with 10 leads? It's like, well, I'm going to put them over here, and then I'm going to call them, and then I'm going to send them a letter. Well, wait, I can't send a letter. I got to go. And it's like, what? How am I going to do all this? And then maybe a little bit of time passes. The next day comes and you got 10 more leads. You're like, well, what am I going to do? Did I send these guys something already? So Print
Mhm.
Genie's built on the premise of just saying, look, you got 5 hot leads today. What are you going to do with 5 hot leads? Dump them into Print Genie and walk away. And now you've done everything you possibly can without radio or TV spots to touch someone or communicate someone with an authentic voice easily and conveniently and super dirt cheap, because we're a printing company. At the end of the day, we're not outsourcing. We're not sending our mail someplace else. We have 3 facilities, nationally that can print. And it's like, that's why we can keep our prices really low, so that's just something to consider, while you go through your process. But I mean, yeah. So I always said it was easier to build software and tech around a printing function than it is to be a printer. And that, I mean, being a printer, I won't get into it, but you can imagine the chaos there, right? We're splitting pennies to get things out. I mean, you look at it, a vast majority of the print cost is postage, right? So then as a printer, you try to find the most convenient and easy ways to take all these things and combine them into like order. So now we can print just one thing and we combine it with hundreds of other people that ordered one thing, right? So you can send one postcard. So it's the taking all that stuff, put it onto one sheet, and then printing, efficiently. And that's what we've been doing. Well, it's taken us about 2.5 years, and $500,000
Okay.
bucks or more. But so
enough with the small talk. Let's go ahead and dive into the system and show everybody exactly all the powerful features and benefits that they'll have when they dive into this system, Print Genie.
You got it. Okay. So I've thought, I've done this quite a bit on these kind of in a demo type of scenario. And I, as complex as it is, I'm going to show you in the easiest fashion first, and then you can get deeper into it if you want to, right? But remember, this is built out of convenience to the people that don't know what to do, when to send it, what it should look like, right? And they just want something done for them. That's what this is. It's all done for you, but we can ramp up from there if you want to do more. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can I take that over? Let's see here. Okay, so there we go. Click, click, click. There we are. Okay, so there you are. Okay, looking good. So here we are, and we state very clearly what it is, but you're sending mail, text and email drip campaigns from your phone, your CRM, or your desktop. I mean, just keeping it simple, right? And so the idea here is that every campaign is built like this. We send a letter followed up by a single email and a single text saying, hey, did you get my letter? And then a month later, a postcard with one single text, maybe a couple emails saying, did you get it? We're not a text blasting service. We're not an email blasting service. We're a communicating tool, right? And so when you upload your list, if it does or does not have a phone or an email, it will or will not trigger that text or that email part. Of course, it's always going to do the mail part. So you don't have to worry about having it or not, or if you have other services that do it better, that's fantastic, right? But just think of this. Print Genie is a direct mail component to send out things, sequentially and easily. So there's really 5 easy ways. Let me jump over here and just show you. There's 5 easy ways to use Print Genie. And so I'll just show you really quickly, then I'll jump in. You can find motivated sellers inside of Print Genie, and I'm going to show you that. You can send a single letter or postcard. You can send a full campaign. You can set up your CRM with Zapier. Any of these 1,600 different apps can trigger Print Genie. A lot of people do things like they'll have a Podio product or they have some type of CRM and they just zap it. And it's like a hot lead comes in, they're getting a campaign. It comes with a mobile app on the iPhone now. So all this can be done on your phone, on your iPhone currently. And you can upload your own list. And so that's the easiest way to look at this. And this is the best part. This gives you a better kind of illustration as to what can happen, but you can set up a campaign or pick our own campaigns and send it out. And so like really a 3-touch campaign or a 5-touch campaigns is as cheap as $3. So you're sending like a letter, a text, an email, a month later, a postcard, text, email, a month later, a letter, a month later, another postcard, all for about $3. Right?
Now,
imagine
keep that in mind,
that.
guys. Keep that in mind. What Andy just described to you was the ability to sequentially hit your sellers multiple times. 3-month campaign, set it and forget it for less than $2.02, $2.05. You can also do a 5-month campaign for $3.30. So I want all of my investors to think about the problem that you guys are having right now, trying to figure out, well, what should I send out next month and what can I get to remind me to send a second letter out or send a third letter out or send a third postcard or drop another text message. Well, now you can set it and forget it for $2, $3. I mean, it's just ridiculous how simple and how detailed Andy has made this platform.
Yeah, I tried to set this up with everything I could think of, right, to answer the questions that I've had for 20 years, right? And so what we did was we created this platform and we call it Print Genie. And once you log in, we're going to show you how much you've spent, how many total touches. So a touch is an email, a postcard, a letter would be 3 touches, right? So in some cases, our campaigns would be, once a month for 4 months or something. So that's really like 15, 17 different touches you're doing for about $3. And you can do it, you can send it to one person. So here's the power of this thing. So here's your dashboard, shows you generally how much you've spent, how many minis and postcards you've sent, how many total text messages, and how many total touches, right? So let me break it down and just show you how easy this is. This is what I've seen most people do with the platform so far. They come into my mailing list, your mailing list, and they upload their list. And this is the way most people do it. And there's other ways, but I'll show you just the most used, I think. So they come in with their 20 hot leads. There's your leads right there. And it shows you, once you upload them, you can see their name and stuff like that. But this is your list, right? So you just uploaded a list, because most people come with lists from all kinds of places, like wherever. Foreclosures Daily we get a lot. They love distressed leads. So they come in with it started out like this. They go to Go Big and they'd say, I got 25 leads. And we're like, well, we'll see you when you get 100. And that's not, and so that's the storyline. People are taking these hot leads of 20 names or 30, and they're coming to us. So here's the deal. They'll come in with their 20 leads. And basically it's this. All you're doing is uploading your list, which I don't have to show you how to do that. I'll show you this one in a second where you can get leads from us, but just assume for a second you came in with 20 hot leads. What do you do with 20 hot leads? Well, let's think of the options that you might want to do. The first option you may consider is, I just want to send them a letter. Okay, so find a letter. We have hundreds to choose from, right? So I'll just pick, something in here. So here's a typical foreclosure letter, and you can click on it and see what it looks like. And this is the letter, and all the variables pull in automatically. So your profile is going to pre-populate the letter with your name, your phone number, your website, all that good stuff. And then the recipient, the person that you're mailing this to, we're going to send it to the to the owner's address. And we're going to also reference the property that you're interested in buying. And so it works just like this. So you come in here and you're like, okay, find your letter or your postcard, and you click on order, and you can send it to one person. So I can just type in an address. And I think it's as easy as that. And you just go, okay, cool. There's that one letter. I'm mailing it to one person for 76 cents. So
so it's 76 cents for
yeah.
that letter, and it's an actual handwritten letter. I've seen some companies out here selling something like handwritten letters, first class stamp. Well, actually, it's not even a first class stamp; it's an initial, and they're selling it for $1.20, $1, $2.50, and you're able to give the person a handwritten letter, first class stamp, handwritten envelope for 76 cents.
Yeah, and imagine what you just said, right? So if you just start looking around to get a letter, and remember, first class mail is just 15 cents more than what you said with an indicia. So standard mail, which is a one-way ticket, you don't get them back. First class is going out, and if it's a bad address, it's coming back, and it comes with a real stamp. And what happens is this: when you upload a list or you enter a name here, if I entered that address wrong, it would have kicked it back and said this doesn't validate. So what we do is something called delivery point validation, and we have a real lifetime check against USPS. And so if you type in an address that's wrong, we're going to say this is not a valid address, so you can't mail it. If you upload a list, we're going to do the same thing. We clean your list, we make sure it's a valid address. And we also run national change of address listings. So if Mary moved from Main Street to Elm Street, we're going to update that record too. So we do all that cleaning in the back end. And then what you said about real, so yeah, this is a full-on stamp, and I can peel it off. It's not an indicia, and it's a real stamp, and you can see that. So our machines go through like a million different processes, but you can peel the stamp right off, and it's a real stamp. And then we use this font that looks like, we have lots of fonts to choose from, but we've settled on this one for the time being because it's the most responsive. And then our letters look as authentic as, here's a letter, just handwritten letter. And, it's like, I'll skip over that. But so it's as easy as, right? So you send it to one person, or you might have a list, and like, here's my 7 hot leads. So you got 7 hot leads from wherever you got them, and you're going to mail out those 7 leads first class in an envelope, handwritten for $5, right? So for $5. And then, now this is right here, the lowest laying fruit. So I have a lot of we'll have a lot of people that will do, they have like their own letter of intent type of product. And so what they'll do is their acquisitions person will just jump in here and click this thing right after they get a hot phone call. Either it's coming to their CRM or they got a phone and someone calls up, what are you going to give me for my house? What's going on, man? It's like, well, let's talk about it. And then you go through your process, and literally while you're here, oh, you're at, okay, I see you're at 119 Elms. Okay, cool. And then as you're doing that, you're just clicking this one button, and then in what, 7, 8, 9 days, they're getting a letter from you, handwritten, with a, some type of offer or opportunity to how you can assist them. I mean, really, right? And it's not like you're just saying, okay, I'm going to text you an email and it's going to get lost into a barrage of that. You get a physical letter in the mail right then and there. So now that right there, this right here is the lowest laying fruit, right? And you can pick your categories and come in here and just, find your holiday seasonal cards that we're starting to add. And we're starting to find out some things like, well, you come into it without this, I want to buy your house. It's more like just some personalized or seasonal type of card with the back side that says something a little bit more about what you want to do. So you're kind of sneaking it in there. It's like, oh, where'd this come from? Oh, So, but now let's talk about the power of Print Genie, right? So you can upload a list, you can buy a list, you can order one thing, right? So we've talked about that. The real power here is your campaigns. Campaigns are the magic sauce. It's the ingredient to success. There's no one-hit wonder, right? That's why people send out 40,000, because you're looking at, the law of averages, and you know your percentage margins, and you send out a big number hoping to get, a certain amount of people to respond. Your rates of response go up incrementally and exponentially the more you touch them. So right. Anybody in marketing is going to understand that. And on Go Big, we have a bunch of stats on, I don't know, it goes all the way up to 60 and 70% response rate by the time you hit them 7 times. But remember, you're in a world of, it's a saturated market. Everybody's kind of hitting the homeowners. And so what you're doing is you're saying, you're not just a one-hit wonder. You're sending something out, and then again and again and again. You're the guy that's on their lap every month for the next 4 or 5 months. So in here is a running list of all my active campaigns, and you just mouse over the eyeball and it'll tell you what that campaign was all about. And it just gives you kind of reference as to what that campaign was. Like in this campaign, I had 31 people. In this campaign, I had 29 people. But here's how easy it is. You upload a list and you just click on Create Campaign. And we've already pre-built campaigns for you. And I won't go through them all, but you just mouse over the question mark and it kind of describes what the campaign is. Like this one's 3 mini postcards. What's that?
What campaign is that?
So this one we call it 3-touch bread and butter. So driving for dollar bread and butter, right? So if you're driving for dollars, you tap a property and you send in the bread and butter campaign. And so then we have generic campaigns. We have campaigns more specific to probates or high equity or foreclosures. Or I even have one in here for foreclosures daily. A lot of the guys come in here. It's like, I got 22 names. What do I do? Here, you already have a campaign that's built for you. And even it's like you have campaigns and people can request campaigns and we can always make more, but we just have a bunch to get started. But in here, for example, I have a 4-touch buying houses generic campaign. So maybe it's, you don't know what type of property it is. So let's just click on it and see what it looks like. And we describe the campaign, and all you do is attach your list. There's your list of 7, hit next. And now we're showing you the campaign. And this campaign consists of that postcard that goes out. And then right a week later, we send a text message, then we send an email. And then we have this one set up so that so in about the fourth week or the second month, they're going to get a letter from you. And then right after that, get another text saying, hey, I sent you something, another postcard, another letter, another text, another email, right? So imagine you didn't have to think about what to say, how often to send it. You could do that here. Should I do text or should I do email? Should I do a letter? Should I do a postcard? So if you go back to the beginning of our conversation, we're all different. So here we have a handwritten postcard. Then we have more of a formal looking type of letter, right? And you can put your own, your own stationery on there. But anyway, click next, and we're going to send that whole campaign, right, to 7 different people. And here, of which only a few had an email and only 4 guys had a phone. So when those other guys don't have a phone or email, that just doesn't deploy that text or that email. No big deal. And we don't charge you for it anyway. So for $19, so 7 people are going to get touched 6-7 times for $20. And you didn't do anything but upload your list, and click that button, and then it just happens automatically. Now you know that with good reason, these guys, if they're interested, will call you back without you really having to go back and manage. Did I send this guy something? Should I do it again? I mean, you remember, I've had I don't know how many, 500 million pieces of mail in 20 years. I've had, I mean, for all these years, people keep saying to this day, what's your best mail piece? Well, to be honest with you, who in the right mind could say that? Because the guys over in Arizona are different than the guys in Boston.
Baltimore.
And so, and then within Boston, they're different city to city. And so I can't say the best mail piece. That's not fair for me to do that. But I can say the odds and the statistics will say the more you mix it up, the more you send, the more likely your odds are. We call them lures, right? So you're going fishing. It's like you're going to mix it up. You're going to use a different lure for the different, hole you're in. But anyway, so that's it. I mean, that's the basic power behind it. I think that you get it, right? That's easy enough to understand.
Yes. Hey, let's stop for a second.
Yeah.
If you see me reach up to my face like this, that means I want to interject.
Oh, gotcha. Good one.
So notice that and finish your point so I can interject and interact with it. That's how I've been with my marketing. That's where I see the highest conversion. Not just letting you go off, but interjecting the person who is listening, what he would want to say or want to know at that point.
Fantastic. That's a good one to know. Yeah, that's fantastic. I get it.
So if you see me do like this, that means get ready to finish your point so I can interject. Then I'm going to put my hand back down. Good call, man. I'll do like this again.
I got you. That's good, Charles. Okay, good. So I hit most of those things right in there. I think that was a good overview on that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So okay. So Charles, let's kick this in again. So Charles, I just showed you how easy it is to order. I mean, it's as simple as uploading your list and ordering a letter, a postcard, or a full campaign. I mean, that just is just so easy. Now, here's the deal. There's lots more in here. Let's jump into it. What do you got, Charles?
What I really love about it is what you just got finished showing us is the fact that everything is so visually intuitive. You got the icons right there that show people exactly what the postcards look like. You don't have to be a technical genius in order to configure the actual campaign. Click a button, you can tell when it goes out. Click a button, you can choose what campaign you want, letter or text or a postcard. It's just so user-friendly. And then when you look at the fact that the pricing, because that's been one of the main reasons why new investors and even some seasoned investors in the past have gotten away from direct mail, because they look at it and say, man, this is just so expensive to consistently throw this out to the actual sellers. And the way you've created this campaign, created this system, you're not saying that you have to send out 1,000 letters or 2,000 letters. You're saying choose your targeted list, choose your targeted sellers, and send out based on the demand that you think will give you the best response on the motivation from the seller.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And so this blanket an area, I mean, there's a lot of guys that do that, and they'll just send a ton of mail and they'll blanket an area. I'm okay with that. That's the go big world, and people do it every day. And so what we've liked in the past, I don't know, maybe it's just the last 3 or 4 years, people are starting to stack their list. They're starting to get hot leads. They're looking for real distressed sellers. They're looking for those, they're not just doing absentee owner high equity. They're really, they're honing in on, someone that really needs your assistance. So that's why you see here, like, well, this is just kind of my site, but you see numbers like 25, 19, 14, 29, 82. Right. So, I mean, that's what we do. And then even here, like if you just didn't have your own list, you can come into here and find motivated sellers. And we took this burden off your plate too, because it also is like, well, what should I send? What kind of list should I get? So we put together, in conjunction with the data company that we use to get the data, things like absentee owners with homes built before 1975 that have high equity. And then we describe why it's good and what this list is good for. So we're taking 180 million properties, and we're applying these filter sets to them and then returning to you the people with this situation at hand, right? Homes built before 75 with high equity, mortgage defaults out of state, absentee owner with high equity. We have next seller leads, which are, I mean, this is insane, really, but we know when you're most likely to move in a neighborhood. So our statistics, and I say ours, we tap into a data center, right? So we're not a data company, we're a printing company, but we've worked with these guys for about 8 years now. And so what they did, and a lot of agents use this, but they want to know the average time someone's going to be in their house. And so we have this thing called next sellers. And so you know they're most likely to move, and it depends on what the area you're in, but like 4 months, 4 years or 5 years. But so all you do is you click on the list that you want, you pick on the area that you want to work within, and just kind of picking whatever county and whatever city and state you're interested in. And then you just limit your records. We'll skip trace it for you. And you say, I just want 50 of these things or 30. So we're not sending out 10,000. So you might find your city, state, your zip codes and your county, choose to skip trace them, and then order it. And so I just wanted 30 leads in this area. And now you have a campaign ready to go. So you got your 30 hot leads, you pick your campaign, and you check out. I mean, it's like, okay, that was easy, right? So I really wanted to show you that because I find that 80%, 90% of the people are just doing exactly what I just said. Now, I can show you a couple other things just to kind of give you a taste, and I'll jump in there just to give you a flavor of the power here. If I just click this button here, and this is going to be for some of your audience, not all of your audience. They may be interested. But I've jumped into what I call the admin side. The admin side's different than the user side. And what that means is this: we give you a bunch of text messages that we've already written. Here they are. And what you can do is you can make your own, you can edit them, and it has the mail merge tags and all that, merge tags and all that stuff. You can write your own text messages. You can write your own email messages. So you don't like what we said, so just change it and then edit it. And here we go. You can edit that, change your text message, change your email message. And this is the bomb. Let me just can you give me 3 minutes and I'll show you this? But this to me is my fantasy, because remember, all these years, people would say, hey, I like your templates, but I want to make my own. So they give us their artwork, we'd adjust it, we put it online, and then they can edit it later. It takes about 6 days. And we've done that about 50,000 templates worth in the last 20 years. Now, check this out. So here I was just messing around because I was making these earlier. So I created a category. I call it holiday cards. I didn't make one from scratch. So I chose an existing template and I click on the pencil. And now I'm going to just do some cool stuff with you just real quick, just to show you how easy it is. But so it'll open up our template builder. So now you can build your own mail templates, your own postcards, your own letters. And here's one that we already started, this one, but look, you can see it's got the mail merge variables in there. So you can say, do you have a property? I'm interested in selling, buying your house at, and look right here, you just go hashtag and pull up property street. And so we put that right in there. And then you can do some fun stuff like, okay, I want it to be red, or I want to put, change the paper color. And then even on this side here, you have your images you can upload here, and then check it out. The front side. So here, just let me show you really quickly. This is a postcard that I grabbed that we already have, and you can edit it and change the font and the color and stuff like that. I showed you that. Change it to handwritten font or something. Let's just make it Hand of Sean, which is kind of a cool looking font. Change that. Obviously that's too big, so we'll make it a little bit smaller. Stick that right there. Now check this out. The magic of this, right? So I don't like that one. So I'm going to go to images, go to resources, and just type in Halloween. And then now I've got a bunch of Halloween types of, there's hundreds and hundreds. So you just find the one you think you want. There's maybe a good one right there. And let's pull it down on my layers. So I made a Halloween postcard, right? And then obviously the black didn't work there. So I'll make that white text. And obviously that didn't work either. So I'll make that yellow. So I just made a Halloween card, right? And the power of this is that instantly you can mail it out. So if you have that bug to change what we have and make something, well, there you go. You just made something, right? So I just hit okay, and it's made a brand new postcard. Now, I can also take that with the text and add it to a campaign if I wanted to.
Now, what you just showed us is not only can this system be great for that new user, that person who wants everything done for you, that person who says, okay, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what to say. I need something that I can just plug and play. You got that variation of the system. But now you also have the advanced variation, because that's the one we have, where we're able to adapt and change it based on our experience. I want to change the color. I want to change seasonal. I want to change the verbiage. I want to change the text. You're able to deal with both users based on where they want to be in the system.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way we built it that way. So we have it what we call a basic user and a pro user. As a basic user, you're picking from the assets that we've already created, right? So we have hundreds of postcards and letters and dozens of campaigns and mixed messages, and there's no minimums. And so a basic user for what, $50, you have access to this. And I've even gotten into the fact that it comes with an app, it comes with Zapier, you can plug in your CRM, you can buy lists on demand, or you can skip trace. But the fact is, for $50, right, you have this platform right at your fingertips. So if you're really good at just getting, harboring your leads or getting your leads from some place, upload them, and then you just drop it. You're a basic user. You don't have to think about anything. And then that's why we call them a pro. A pro is someone that says, wait a minute, I like what you got going on here, but I want to make my own stuff. I want to adjust what you have, but make my own. That's a pro. That's why we call them a pro, right? So, I mean, that's the magic of this thing, right? Just instantly accessible.
Now, I'm not sure you guys hearing what Andy is saying here. You got the capabilities of direct mail built in already. You got the capability of text message marketing built in already. You got the capability of email marketing built in already. So we already established the fact that you gotta hit those sellers, those motivated individuals multiple times. And everything is already done for you and built into the system already for one low price, depending on what access of the system that you want. Now I'm gonna go over all the pricing at the end, but I wanted to also let you know I got a special bonus to each and every one of you when you stay to the end of this video that I'm going to give to you for free. So make sure you stay to the end of the video. Go right ahead, Andy. Let's keep this thing moving.
Cool. Okay. So I like to do it this way. I think I'm a visual person too. And let me just grab something. So I mean, everybody's got their thing, right? But mine's mail. And so I've collected for years and years and years. But imagine without any effort, from your phone, you could send, hey, I want to buy your house. You take a picture of that, the property and send them a postcard. Now, a basic user can pick the dozen or 20 that we already made, or they can make their own. So you can make your own postcard, slap a photo on there, or you can open up your phone, type in an address from your house where I am, and then mail it to somebody because it's going to pull up the Google Street View. But here's the real fantasy for me. This is the eye candy world, right? Oh, by the way, I should tell you, everything is got full bleed. Everything's full first class. Everything's on 110-pound heavy cardstock. You can see. And it's the best part is this matte finish. It's like an Apple product. Like you put, maybe you're not an Apple guy, but you open up an Apple product, you feel the silky smooth. I mean, it's kind of gets crazy, but this is the world I'm in. But imagine you could send to one person. I mean, I'm just randomly grabbing things, but what if you sent that, another, handwritten type of postcard and a letter, and you're doing all this to one person, without even lifting it, basically pushing one button or running it from your CRM. And this goes out on your behalf for, I don't know, somewhere around $3 or $3.30. I mean, of course you could have chosen a campaign and this would cost you 80 or whatever, 90 cents to send two, but maybe you chose a campaign of 3. So you're now at $1.25 and maybe you throw in a letter, so our thing is like, well, yeah, you can hit them 10 times, but hit them 5 and 6 times. I mean, that's probably a good number. So you're hitting them 5 and 6 times easily and conveniently, right? And now you know that if they're not going to respond to you after hitting them with 5, mail pieces for about $3, so then they're probably not going to be interested in working with you, right? So That's what I, that's what, I mean, that's me. I mean, that's just like, it's all eye candy for me.
Right. And the good part about what he just said, I'm not sure if you heard the beginning part about it. Think of all of my driving for dollars investors who are out there driving around neighborhoods, and you see a house that you say, okay, this is the perfect candidate to send a postcard to, try to find the actual owner, see if they're still living here or if they're at another address. You're able to go into your phone. You got an iPhone, go into that iPhone or pull it up on your phone by way of the actual website and send that person a letter, a postcard directly from your car where you're at by clicking a button.
Yeah. I mean, this, you know, for me, this thing is like, if I just, I'll click and just show you really quickly, but we made it really pretty intuitive. I originally kind of called it like go big in your phone because what we're doing is we're saying, we know we use Google Maps, right? So we pull up Google Maps and we show you a hybrid and a satellite view of the property you're in front of, or you can type in it at the top, right? And then it'll show you the details of the property and the home value, the property value, the details, the taxes. And then it also pulls up the owner's information because we're not going to mail it to the renter, right? So that just pulls up instantly. You can do an advanced search and find the phone or the email. And when you find it, it comes in. And then you can, at that point, you can decide, well, I want to send this person one of my hundreds of postcards or letters, just one. You just click one postcard, you look at it, you hit next. Or it's like, wait a second, I want to take a picture of that property and then send that. And what it does then is it pulls up a different set of attribute or assets that are going to hold that photo. And of course, if you were a pro, you could have made your own postcard or letter. And then or use the Google Street View and it'll pull up the Google Street View if you're bad at taking pictures. Or this is the creme de la creme really is that you just send by clicking one button that campaign of those 10 postcards or whatever I just showed you, fan of all these letters. So this is sending a full campaign right from your phone, right? So now, you might be on the phone at Starbucks, you just met someone called you in, you're not in front of their house. Just jump on your phone, type in the address. We're going to know the owner and just click one of these campaigns. And that campaign just went out to that guy. Right. Nice. So that's this is just, I mean, I love this stuff. It's just, that's how easy it is.
The word is, it's sick, man. What the capabilities and the power that Print Genie has built into it is just fantastic. Now, I know a lot of people are asking, well, Charles, what does it cost? How much is it? You're giving us all this. It's got to be expensive. It's got to be off the chain when it comes to the actual pricing of this. Tell them exactly how easy they can get into Print Genie.
So, well, we know everybody wants to try it. So you can try it for free. So you get 7 days trial, right? So just have at it, take a look at it. Pricing is built off of two components. One is you're a basic user and the other one's a pro user. And so your basic user is only $49. And we did it this way because, I mean, we've done a lot of different things. Go big is you can order what you want when you want it. What we realized with Print Genie is that you can't possibly put all the things that I didn't even get into like integrations in Zapier and your CRM and Podio, but imagine for $49, you can just instantly send campaigns. So that's where a lot of people reside. Probably most of your guys that are going to come in. We have hundreds of postcards and letters and dozens of campaigns. Most likely they're going to jump in here. You're going to have your percentage of people that want to make their own, which is very powerful, but that's your price points, $49. And if you do it annually, then you can even save 20%. So a basic user, so for $475 for the whole year of using Print Genie, imagine that, right? And plus even driving for dollars, you can tap the address, the property, and then save the address without sending mail. Just save the address, save the address, save the address. Now you got like whatever your address is. Now maybe you've just seen 50 properties, you've added them to your phone. And then maybe on that Friday, you want to just send one letter. So you have that list, it's already on there. You just open up your list, send that one letter. So all that's built into Print Genie. But yeah, here's how inexpensive it is. And if you're a pro, then it's only $97 a month. And that's where you can build your own letters, build your own postcards, build your own campaigns. But now, I want
everybody to think about it, think of it like this. The $49 a month plan is the person who just don't want to do anything. They don't want to write their own copy. They don't want to edit. They just want it done for them. So that's who that $49 a month plan is perfect for. Now, the more experienced investors, the one who are actually has experience with copywriting, experience with design, experience with conversion, they may want to be able to specialize and change this and change that based on messages that they already have in their company. That's what that $97 a month plan is for. So think in terms of, do I want done for you or do I want done by me? And that's where you can look at the two different price points.
Yeah, perfect. That's a great, yeah, you summed it up nicely. I'll tease you with some pricing here just to show you because everybody asked, but it's really relevant here. Let me just grab it here. So, you're getting into the system and let me just jump over here. Where is my pages here? Hold on a second. It's in the back. Oh, it's here. Sorry, guys. So once you're logged in, you can see there's lots of demos on how to order campaigns, what a pro's like, skip tracing, uploading your list and all that kind of good stuff. I came here to show you specifically pricing. But so if you're a basic user, you're spending 53 cents to send a single postcard, right? And so we didn't make campaigns more expensive. A campaign is just based on maybe it's one or maybe too many postcards and 2 letters. So you just add up mini postcard and a letter, and that'd be 84 cents or 76 cents if you're a pro. And that's how we came up with campaigns, right? So you can send one postcard for 53 cents or 48 cents. Or if you pick a campaign that's 3 touches, you just do the math. And that's how you kind of start to understand the cost, what we did. But I mean, to send one letter, like you're looking at this thing, 76 cents or 84 cents, what we started to find is that a lot of the guys who they like the campaigning, but now they're starting to use us for just sending one-offs. So like they have, I don't know, I've noticed this a lot. They'll go to some place like, I say Foreclosures Daily, but I happen to use that name, but what happens is this consistently, they'll go there and then they'll buy their lists and then they'll get a backlog of like maybe 360. And then they're moving forward after the 360 names, they're going to get like 25 a week, right? So it starts out with a bunch because they're backlogged and then they'll get like 25 a week. So they'll come in here and they'll upload the 360 names and send out a letter or a postcard and just get the thing going, right? Just start the party. Then each week, when they get to 25, they'll add it to a campaign and it just drips, right? So you can see how inexpensive these things are. But yeah, that's it.
The way that we're doing it is we're basically going after what we call our medium to hot leads. We're using Print Genie for direct mail to those actual campaigns and stuff.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I like to think of it that way. You've got this list. It's a hot, list. It's specific and you're hitting them with a campaign. Yeah. That's the way we like to think of Print Genie. Now, naturally people might just go, well, I want to do 40,000. Well, you can, the prices are good, but that's people are really looking at this as a micro tight, multi-touch campaigning system. I mean, that's what it's all about. Right. So, that's it. So I get you, I get you on enough stuff. I showed you all the, all this kind of good stuff where you can make your own. I just started to do this one earlier. It's like, oh man, how easy is it to make your own campaigns, right? You just come in here, you type your text. And it's like, I want to buy your. So you start to think about it. It's like, oh, that was pretty easy. I got it. So, I mean, I've been a graphic designer for 35 years, right? And so the power to be able to just do this, I mean, imagine how long I've been around, right, Charles? And it's like to be able to just jump on your computer and make a direct mail piece right then and there and be able to send one person that's got the personalization in there, the property street, the owner's name. It's a game changer. It's insane.
Okay. Stop the share now.
Yeah.
Bring up the screen, bring up for both of us. There you go. Now, guys, as you've seen, this program is just as using Andy's word, is a game changer. Now, remember, for all of you guys who stayed with me to the end, stayed with Andy to the end, I'm going to give you a special bonus right now. It's my 2020 Rolodex for virtual assistants when you order Print Genie through my link. And my link is right here on the screen, madprintgenie.com. Just go to madprintgenie.com and you'll be able to take advantage of the 7-day free trial. You made an order through my link. And once you guys order through that link, I'm going to send you over my new book, my 2020 Rolodex for virtual assistants. You're going to get that. Inside of it, it's over 70 pages of virtual assistants you can be working with to do design. You can work with to do cold calling, work with to set up your Podio systems, work with to do copywriting, website design. You can think of all the different tasks you can have a virtual assistant do. My 2020 Rolodex will actually give you the virtual assistants that you can work with, the actual outsourcers that you can work with to do these different tasks and stuff for your business. And I'm going to give it to each and every one of you who sign up for Print Genie, and just send me the actual receipt that you signed up. You can send it to charles@realdealmeetup.com. That's charles@realdealmeetup.com. Now, Andy, I know you guys are always turning your wheels around, coming up with new features and so on. What do you guys got in the hatch that's coming up real soon?
So in Print Genie, we're doing some really fun stuff, right? So we do like the automation function, right? So in just the around the corner, you'll be able to create a filter set of data that you're interested in. And every time there's a change in data or property information, it'll send a campaign automatically. So just imagine you set up a foreclosure list, right? And you're just looking for foreclosures in a certain area that you're marketing in. And every time someone falls into that list, they get a campaign, right? And you can do that with probates or foreclosures or absentee owners or high equities. You can do it with anything. There's like 200 filters. So just sneaking into that, that's what's coming. And so my whole world is automation. It's like, what can I do so that you don't have to do anything? And that's what it's all about, right? And I'm not, listen, I'm old enough to know I'm not just selling you a widget. I'm not here to do that. I have a 20-year-old company, right? This is my new baby. This is me taking all that I've learned and allowing people to have access to my brain of what I believe works most in direct response marketing. I'm not here to just send millions of these things. It doesn't bother me. In fact, we haven't even launched it to the world. This is almost a closed group that have been using this.
And like I said, based on the success from my students that we're having on it, that's the reason why Print Genie has made our 2020 top real estate investors tools for the investor for 2020. So that's the reason why you guys are on episode number 2. I want each and every one of you to take a hard look of what's out there. And I promise you, you won't find anything out there in the market that does what this tool does at the price that it does, with the customization that it has and the ease for you, the real estate professional, to really start generating deals. I want to personally thank my man, Andy Detweiler, for being on the call today. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, you're the man. This is great. I love hanging with you. Thanks for letting me be here. Anything I can do for you and your fans, I'm here for them. Just text me, call me. We have great concierge that will do it for them. I'm readily available. Okay, anything you need.
And like the hair club from Ben guy says, not only do I wear the product, I'm actually using the product. So I definitely think you guys should jump on this. That's the reason why he's on the 2020 top real estate investor tools, episode number 2. Andy Detweiler, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Take care, and we'll see you guys in the next real estate tool. Bye-bye. Andy, let's do the ending one more time. I didn't like the way that went.
Yeah.
Okay, so just follow off of my key.
Sure.
Hey guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. As I mentioned, Print Genie, part of my 2020 top real estate investor tools. Definitely jump on it. This is episode number 2. Andy, thank you, my friend, for being on the actual call today. Any last parting words you have for our listeners?
Well, I love being with you. I mean, you are the mastermind behind, so much. And I love you and your people that are using you. I'm here to help. We have a concierge that will do it for them. They can text me. They can call me. Anything I can do for you, I'm here for you. Okay. Just know that I'm here. Okay.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Remember, check us out at madprintgenie.com. That's madprintgenie.com. Charles Blair, the Mad Scientist, signing out. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. That's a wrap.
Cool.